Thanks very much, Alain, and thank yourselves for joining us today. I'm going to introduce you to GFG Resources. It's a North American-based precious metals explorer. We get a lot of questions about GFG, what it stands for. Ultimately, it means gift from God or go for gold. Ultimately, this is part of being part of Discovery, and we think we've got a great team and a great story. We've recently financed, and I'm going to talk to you today about what to look forward to. I'm a geologist, I'm an explorationist, and I'm an optimist, and with that, I will make forward-looking statements. Before we go into GFG, I think this industry has a challenge. It has a challenge, a lack of discovery. It's ultimately why we set up GFG. This graph shows you production in gray, dollars in yellow, and ultimately discoveries in green. And we set this company up, because there's a lack of relevant discoveries being made. And if you look at what GFG is achieving, it's doing something different. It's working with partners. It's taking a different spin. If you look at our assets, look deep, look undercover, do something different. If you do the same thing over and over again, expect the same results. This graph will not change unless you see companies stepping out and trying to attack projects differently. And I'm going to talk to you about what GFG is doing to address that challenge. When you look at this, we have a very seasoned team and board. A lot of assets have been built, developed, discovered, and sold. We're transaction-driven. We control major belts, assets in Wyoming and assets in Timmins in Ontario. We are looking for world-class gold systems. We're backed by partners like Newcrest, and we are being aggressive whilst we do it. Aggressive for an 18 million market cap company would be something like spending $8 million in 2019. That's what we're doing. And we're backed by groups like Newcrest. So there's a very good team, balance sheet, and strategy being deployed here. On the corporate side, we have about 110 million shares out, 18 million market cap, as Alain talked about. We have $4 million in the bank. We are well financed to achieve our goals for 2020. We are well supported by our institutional shareholders. A number of those being major Swiss institutions with presence here, 1875, SSI, Gold 2000, Delbrook. These were all participants in our most recent financing, as were insiders. Wrote significant checks into the last deal. We believe in what we're doing, and we are very leveraged to the success of this company. As I talked about, this is a team that's had success at the executive and board level. We ran Claude Resources for a number of years, and we sold it for $350 million to SSR. That was the previous role and company we had a successful ending with. And we built GFG out of that. And our board, 4 of the 5 of us were board members of Claude. Look on the right. How many companies have been sold and built to build very strong value for our shareholders? Track record and investing in people. That's what you get with this company. We have 2 main assets. One in Timmins, in Ontario, the Abitibi, world-class gold belt. And the other in Wyoming, where Newcrest is financing us. This map has 120 million ounces of gold in it. Immense historic gold endowment. The red is the area we control, directly on strike from Newmont's Timmins mine complex. West of us, Newmont has the Borden mine. East of us, Tahoe, Pan American assets. Southeast of us, you have Alamos and Cote Lake with IM Gold. The point is, 5 to 20 million ounce gold systems on every side of us, all within truckable distance to material infrastructure controlled by majors. We put this land position together 2 years ago. We've been exploring it. It is early stage. We have a number of economic hits. We are advancing those towards resource. We feel this is very much an opportunity that should be flagged to investors in a very well-endowed camp like the Abitibi of Ontario. We're focused on finding a gold camp. This is 60 kilometers across, and we have a number of camp-scale targets. We believe there's a couple mines in this belt. And I'm going to talk to you about targets at Slate Rock and Gehan and Reeves and Deerfoot. Each of those are 5 to 10 kilometer areas where we're focused. And they all have very interesting, in many cases, economic intercepts already drilled by this company. Multiple opportunities for discovery in a very well-endowed camp. And we generated these by using regional till sampling, thinking about geology, building a structural model. This area is all undercover. It's why we went here. A relevant gold deposit will not have been found historically using the methodology that was applied here. And these areas have the same signatures as Borden, as Rainy River. They are large gold systems, and it's why we're focused where we are. We've drilled about 8,000 meters in this camp already. We've had economic intercepts, as I said, at Crawford, at Sewell, HGM, Slate Rock. These are large-scale targets where you're going to see us focus in the coming quarter. We started drilling yesterday, and we will continue drilling through Q3, Q4, and again in Q1. Focusing in a little more, this is a great example of a 6-kilometer corridor that we feel is quite fertile. This is 20 kilometers on strike from a 3 to 4 million ounce gold system controlled by Pan American. We have economic hits at Crawford, HGM, and Sewell. We have 2 kilometers in between that has not been tested historically. And when we look at what we're trying to achieve in the coming quarters from a drill perspective, we will be in testing these targets and growing them towards resource. Economic hits, 100 meters depth, to be followed up in the coming quarter, all within 20 kilometers of Timmins. Those targets are a little more advanced. And if we think regionally, we have another suite of targets behind them, Slate Rock and Reeves and Gehan. These are earlier started stage, more greenfield targets. First drill holes at Slate Rock returned very intense alteration, 4 grams gold over very broad intervals. It's a large intrusion-related system, discovered last year by GFG, and to be tested in the coming 2 quarters. You get the picture. There are a lot of targets here. They are supported by sound geology and have and host a number of economic intercepts already. So overall, when you look at what we are achieving in Timmins, $2.5 million in the ground in 2019, another $2 million in 2020. And that goes a long ways. We can drill 10,000 meters. We can move these towards resource, and we'll make further discoveries. So good catalysts coming out of Timmins, drilling right now, results to be released in Q1. That is half the story of GFG. The other half is Rattlesnake Hills in Wyoming. This is where Newcrest is invested alongside of us. $40 million in the ground, 100,000 meters of drilling. It's an analogy to Cadia or Cripple Creek or Wharf Mines. It's a Newcrest-sized opportunity. Their filter is pretty big. They must be there for a reason. We structured a deal about a year ago. It would see Newcrest earn into 75% of this property by spending $100 million over 10 years. Well, that's a little bit of a vote of confidence. We're in an option phase right now where the minimum spend was $2.6 million. What I can tell you by the end of this year, we'll spend $5 US in the ground in the last 18 months with Newcrest, world leader in developer and explorer for bulk mineable underground systems. And that's why they're there. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3 would see this move through feasibility, all funded by Newcrest to the total of $100 million. So they're a great partner, and they're there looking for something deep. A non-traditional search space. Now, they're drilling deep holes, looking for a bulk tonnage underground system. This is what their minds are. It's where their skill set is. It's why they came to us, and we negotiated this joint venture. So we're drilling these holes right now because we pitched them a number of targets that fit their mandate. And ultimately, we feel this is an alkaline gold system. It's got a porphyry underneath it. It's already a number of intercepts that have the appropriate style and characteristics. And that's why Newcrest is here. Drill ready, a number of targets that fit their goal of finding 5, 10, 20 million ounces. That's the scale of the system that is present in a number of these alkaline gold porphyries. And if you looked at what GFG is achieving with Newcrest this year, we will drill 4,000 meters. We finished drilling last week. We drilled 3 holes. The deepest was 1,800 meters long. The shallowest was 1,000 meters. These are holes that found and find world-class systems. There's a diatreme that exists there that's outlined in red or in gray. The red are what we feel are the controlling corridors that exist beneath here. And if you look at what Cadia mines, and if you look at what a number of these deep mines, it's the root porphyry underneath the diatreme, and that's what we're drill testing. We went back to Newcrest twice to up the budget because we were very encouraged by what we were seeing, and we pushed holes even deeper. We spent $3.9 million US this year with Newcrest, and GFG managed it, and we're paid 10% management fee. That certainly helps cover our G&A. So you find an innovative company partnered with best-in-class, looking for a world-class system in Wyoming. Those results will come to market in mid-December, and we would expect a decision on Newcrest in March of next year. And their path is write us a modest check and continue earning in, or turn it back in 100% back to GFG, in which case we'll have $5 million in the ground and a lot of good ideas regionally to think about. So there's 2 aspects to this story. Timmins, where we're putting our dollars to work in the ground, we feel very strongly that there's the best bang for our buck for our shareholders there. We've already made discoveries in Timmins, and we are following those up to grow them towards resource. And the Wyoming assets backed by Newcrest, which is an immense stamp of credibility. So you invest in GFG, district-scale assets, a very competent technical team with a track record of success, and an aligned board that has equivalent, proven ability to finance. We just raised $3.5 million. This is not a simple capital market, but we can continue to be aggressive at both our project and find innovative ways to partner with companies like Newcrest to the benefit of our shareholders. And what I like to think about is how many opportunities we have to make a relevant discovery. Dozens of irons in the fire. We are not a one-trick pony. We're very encouraged by our ability to raise capital and the results that we look forward to in Q4 from Newcrest and with the continued drilling in Timmins. So invest in GFG, ultimately go for gold. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Brian. Does anybody have a question for Brian? Brian, I would like to know, which is not your case presently, but if you had only one project to focus on, based on a risk-reward analysis, which one would you go for? Would you focus all your energy and financials on?
Yeah, good question. And ultimately, as a very relevant shareholder of this company, we need to maintain momentum, and we need to find the best risk reward for our shareholders. We've already made this decision. Our dollars go into Timmins. Our dollars go into there because we feel 100% exposure to discovery is the best place and return for our shareholders. And we found a unique way to finance the secondary asset with Newcrest. So I think we've already made this choice where we think our best bang for our buck is funding Timmins, and that would be the asset of choice for us. And we're very blessed to have a great partner to advance our secondary asset.
Very smart. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.